Hey, it's Kelly and Kelly's Philippine Adventure. How's it going out there, guys? Haven't seen you in a while. We haven't done a lot of videos here recently because, well, everything is just too damn expensive to do anything. And we're just having a lot of fun in our new home. We've been here about a year now. As you can see, this is the house right here. And we got some updates coming on it and some updates and some other things here, but what we're going to here to talk about is our October expenses. So let's get right into those. I have the whole issue right here. Now, our electric, I was spending, when I first came here a little over 3 years ago, our expenses for the electric was running about 4,000 to 5,000 pesos, about $100 a month. Right now, today, 2022, October expense today, anyway, it come to 10,000 pesos. Now last month it was a lot higher because last month it was 16,000 in September, 16,000, and that's because, well, we ran an air conditioning in our bedroom, we ran air conditioning in Liam's bedroom, and we ran air conditioning downstairs. Now we have the split type in the ceiling, so the air conditioning is technically on the outside. All you got is the inverter thing on the inside. So we ran all three of them really high on our electric bill, so we brought it down. So what we did was only run the one downstairs when we're home, because we're never really upstairs anyway, so we don't need it. And then at nighttime we come upstairs, we turn the one off downstairs, and we run the ones in the bedroom when needed. So that cut our electric way down. So for the month of October, our electric bill was 10,000 pesos. See, it's a lot, huh? And that is about $200 USD. Now our water, there's two kinds of water here. They have drinking water, and the water comes out of the faucet. Pretty much the water, the faucet water is mainly used for washing dishes, clothes, brushing your teeth, taking showers, yada, yada, yada. Then you have drinking water. Our drinking water are these big blue containers, and they run usually about 30 pesos or less than $1, to fill up, and one will last depending on how much water you drink. We have 4 containers, and we keep them always full at the time. But our total water last month, if you combine the two, our water was 600 pesos. So in US dollars, that's $12 USD. Garbage is, we don't have garbage cans per se, but what you have to do is we take our garbage bags up out at the gate, the front gate here, up top of the road here, and we turn right, and off to the side of this gated community, we have a community big trash bin. It has 2 steel doors that open up like this, and so that's where we take our trash, and everyone pays the same amount. Our trash last month run us around 200 pesos, or about $4. So it's cheap. That's not bad. Now our PLDT, here's where we do go up on price, because out here we don't have a company, a Wi-Fi company like, we have Comcast in America, Verizon, and wherever you live they have lines. Usually they have lines. Well, they have no lines out here. So what happened is, there's a gentleman who works for PLDT who actually buys how many Mbps, like he'll buy 1,000 Mbps, download or whatever, and then he'll run the lines himself because he works for PLDT, and on those lines he'll split those lines up to everyone else, and then he divides it all up. So if you want 100 Mbps and so on and so forth. Well, we were using just regular cable lines, so it was the Wi-Fi is really not great. I mean, it's okay, but this week we're going to fiber. He's switching us out to fiber, which is really cool. Oh, he's what you call a third party. He's like a middleman between us and the real PLDT, the real Wi-Fi company. Instead of us going to the Wi-Fi company, we go through him. We pay a little extra because PLDT won't put boxes out here for the people living in this community, in this area, so they won't do that. So you have to do what you have to do. If you want Wi-Fi, you go through this guy here. It is legit. And the good thing is, if we break down and lose Wi-Fi, we have his direct number to him. And I've seen this man out here at 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night repairing our lines or neighbors' lines when it doesn't fix. He does come and fix lines. So I'm more happy with having him as a Wi-Fi guy than the main company. So you still get all the good Wi-Fi, plus you get a personal guy to work on your lines who put the lines in. So our Wi-Fi for here runs just 3,000 pesos or about $60, and that's for 100 Mbps on the download. I'm sorry, 50 on the download, depending on the day how good the upload is. But 3K, that's about $60. Now our house payment, this is the biggest one we have. Our house payment in pesos is huge, but in American money, it's not so bad, really. I mean, I was buying a house in America, and it was around 500 and some, and that was back in the mid 2000s. So anyway, our house payment for our 3-bedroom, 2-bath, pretty good sized lot and everything else, our house payment is 26,250 pesos a month. That is roughly $525. I can't complain. That's a 10-year payoff, folks. That's pretty good. So, what else? School. No, we now have a student in school. Liam is now a school goer. He is a student. Now, I'm not going to count clothes, uniforms, pencils, and erasers, and paper, and all the other good stuff. That's all separate. But what our monthly bill for him, because he goes to a private school. Now, I'm not going to complain about or diss the public schools. There's nothing wrong with them. They're completely fine. But what I personally don't like about them is the fact that they have like 15, 20 or more students in a room that don't have air conditioning. To me, that's just way too hot, and I think it's a bad idea. So what we did was we found a private school not too far from us, and the private school, he only has 9 students, and it's an air conditioning room. So, I prefer that better, and it's only 2,000 pesos or about $40 a month for him to go to school in a private school. He's got a better one-on-one with the teachers. It's air conditioning, small classroom. I like that much better. And here's another big one we have. One of our biggest ones we have. Another one. When we first moved here, I was only spending about 12,000 pesos, a little over $300 a month for dry good foods and the wet market. Okay, that has jumped a lot since I moved here. Right now, we budget every single month. We budget 30,000 pesos for food, and that roughly is about $600. And it's still not real high for a whole month's worth of food. We have 2 different kinds of food here. I don't like buying food in the grocery store when it comes to meat, fish, vegetables. It seems to me like it's not really that good. It's kind of old, and it's actually cheaper and more fresher if you get it at what they call the wet market. That's where you get your fresh meat, you get your fresh your fresh meat, your fresh veggies, your fresh fruit. All that's fresh from the farm. It's a lot cheaper. What am I looking at you for? It's a lot cheaper. It's just better to have, and I would suggest buying it from what they call a wet market. Far exceeds buying all those things from there. Only thing we buy from the grocery store are dry goods, canned goods, pastas and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, there you go. That's 30,000 pesos a month that we set aside. That's about $600 US. Phil Health. Now, Phil Health is the health system they have here for most Filipinos if they get on it. It doesn't cover going into a doctor's office if you have a cold or something. It pretty much is only good for when you get into the hospital, when you have to be admitted in the hospital. When Anne had Liam, we used her Phil Health, which knocked off a big chunk. Not quite half of it, but really close to it. So that helped out a huge amount. Because I think when Liam was born, that's a whole video. You can watch the videos on that later on. But that, I think, I could be wrong, it was right around 100,000 pesos or 150,000 pesos for Liam to be born, and that was through cesarean. Okay, so 400 pesos a month for Phil Health, or about $8. Now here's something else. I'm since I'm married, I'm also a a resident here. As I'm a full time, what do you call it, a resident. I have a 31 kilo, and my military's coming out. I have a visa that allows me to, a permanent resident visa. That's what I have, a permanent resident visa. So it doesn't mean I'm a Filipino. It doesn't mean I give up my U.S. status. It just means that I don't have to pay out so much money now because I'm married to a Filipina and so forth. There's also, check out our videos. You can see all about that too. So let's get back to our expenses because I like to ramble on. All right, gasol. We cook here on electric and gasol. Gasol is nothing more than propane. So we have the big 24, I think 24 liters. It's pretty good size, like the size of a beer keg, I guess. And that gasol will run us, they call it gasol, it will run us 1,200 pesos. You take your empty ones, you go down to the gas station, they take the full ones out, just like you do in America when you go camping, you put them in your travel, whatever. So yeah, usually one will last us a little over a month, maybe a month and a couple weeks, maybe. But the price of that has gone up. It is 1,200 pesos or $24 to refill your tank. But they don't technically refill it. You just take them the empties. They put in an empty lock box with a bunch of other empties, and they give you a brand new full one. That's how they do it. Gasoline. Gasoline's another item here that has gone through the roof. When we first got our car here, gasoline was only running us about, what was that? About 30 pesos a liter. Now, don't ask me to do the computate the things. I don't know what it is per gallon. I think it's 3 liters or 3 point something liters to a gallon or 4. Excuse me. I really don't know. But so do the math. It was 35 pesos for a liter. Well, that 35 pesos a liter has jumped up to around 71 pesos a liter. And so because of that, we don't travel as much. And that's why we haven't been making a lot of videos. But we will be hopefully making some new videos. I have a new drone. We're going to try out to get some of these new resorts that we haven't made videos at. So we're going to be trying some of those. But for the month of October, since we didn't go a lot of places, we stayed home a lot, our gasoline was only 5,000 pesos. And the reason being is not only that we don't go a lot of places, I only fill up 2.5 times during a month. So 5,000 pesos for that. Eating out, same thing. We really we enjoy. We do grilling out here. We really have fun here at the house. We don't really go out that much. One of the reasons, Liam's in school. He does in the afternoon school. So when he gets out around 3:45, 4 o'clock, by the time we get home, showered, and it's time to relax. So, but last month we went out maybe a few times, and that was about 2,000 pesos. Now, for 3 of us, we can eat a meal for less than 400 pesos. So there you go. So the grand total for the month of October in pesos is 80,650 pesos, or $1,018.40. So that is everything for the month of October. If you had any questions or if you have any suggestions for videos, please leave them in the comments below, and I'll get to them as soon as I can and answer any questions. Or if you have any, like I say, if you have any ideas for any videos, let me know, and I'll get back with you and see what we can do to fix it. So I'm Kelly with Ann and Kelly's Philippine Adventure. We'll see our next Philippine Adventure. Bye-bye.